Hi YouTube, this is Erin, and my channel on YouTube is Baby Vlog, and this is going to be my 11-week breastfeeding update. So I thought it would be a good time to do one. Willow, as you can see, is feeding right now. She's pulling off right now because I have an overactive letdown, or a very forceful letdown. So when that happens, she pulls off. I catch the milk in a receiving blanket. So I actually tuck the receiving blanket in my bra also, which really, really helps. Because then you don't get wet bras all the time. Figured there was no better time to do a breastfeeding update than when I was breastfeeding. Because it kind of helps me remember some things. Now breastfeeding is so easy. It's easy to do in public. It's easy to do at home. It's easy. I mean, it's gotten so much easier. There's still some challenges, like anything. Like what I find is that she is she's starting to get a little more distracted. So now she'll like look up at me, and it's so awesome when she does that, when she looks up at me with her big blue eyes, and and then when she hears noises, she'll kind of look side to side, and it's so cute. And sometimes she'll smile on my boob, so she'll smile, and then like
I do that too.
Shush. And then the corners of her mouth will open like a smile, and then you can just see she's just sitting there on the nipple, but she's not actually doing anything. So that's pretty funny. But so far we've nursed at like countless friends and families' houses, a movie theater, in the car. I mean, where else have we done? Like doctor's office, like just different places where. Actually, at a well baby walk-in clinic too. I've nursed there. But yes, so we've pretty much just had experience breastfeeding all over, which is great. And it does get a lot easier to do, of course. And the only things that are still presenting a bit of a challenge is my overactive letdown. So as soon as the milk starts coming, it's literally, she can't drink through it. Now I know she'll grow into that, or at least they say that she'll grow into that, or the letdown will get, not to be so active, but right now it's like incredible. It just like flies out, and she's trying to drink, and she's choking, and it's like a hot mess. So, but my left side is obviously, it's not as bad as my right. My right is like super powered boob. My left is not so bad. So I'm sure some of you have experienced kind of one side being stronger than the other. She's starting to sleep through the night. Last night she slept 10 hours straight, so from 10:30 till 8:30 in the morning. So of course when I woke up, I was so engorged, and I block feed, so she fed off my left side in the morning, and then my right side was just so full. I went through 2 breast pads, and it like soaked through the second breast pad into my bra and into my t-shirt. So that was fun. So it's definitely like her sleeping through the night, like my breasts are still trying to get used to that as well. She's still kind of doing a weird it's almost like she's losing suction at the breast. What I think it is when my breasts get so full, I think she just has a hard time putting more flesh into her mouth. So it's more like she's just kind of on the edge and she's losing suction. Really, it's been pretty good. She's gaining weight really, really well. So I know that's a sign breastfeeding's going well. She was born at 6'13", or 6 pounds 13 ounces, and now she is 12 pounds 7.5 ounces, and she's only 11 weeks old. So that's going well. I'm still using the Milky's Milk Saver, if you saw my product review for that, sometimes, not very often, and I'm trying to, when I have time, pump a little bit, and I have about 25 ounces of frozen breast milk in the freezer now. I'm trying to build up a bit of a supply, or a bit of a stash, I should say, just because I have a wedding I'm standing in, and I want to make sure that I have enough milk for that. But yeah, otherwise everything's going really well. She still eats well. She eats probably every 3 hours still. every 3 to 4 hours. And then again at night she goes like anywhere from 6 to 10 hours. So it's awesome. Can't complain. But yeah, I've been pretty lucky so far. I don't even want to say this out loud, but knock on wood, I've had no problems with like blocked ducts or mastitis or thrush or anything like that. Hoping that continues. That would be awesome. But I did have a few questions from you all. Okay, the questions that I got, I wanted to answer them really quickly. So someone was saying that in one of my YouTube videos, I've talked about Willow spitting up. Well, she does spit up, and the reason that she does, it's not anything like acid reflux. The reason she spits up is because of that weird suction thing. She's swallowing a lot of air, and sometimes with the overactive letdown, she swallows a lot of air. So before I knew what the problem was, she would come off the boob, she would, get burped, and like she would spit up what looked like a lot of milk. But what was happening was, like, as she was swallowing air, it was sitting in her belly or in her wherever air sits. And then when I burped her, it would come up, but it would push any milk that was sitting on top of that air up as well. So now what we try to do is if I do notice that she's swallowing a lot of air, I will stop her to burp her more often. And yes, she cries and screams when I do that, because she's like, put me back on, But it helps a lot. It helps her to actually like get the air out and continue. If it is something like a reflux issue, then my friend Jess, her son has acid reflux. They recommend to keep them upright after you feed them for about 30 minutes, and then I think even giving them a pacifier, my friend Jess was saying, helps them build more saliva, which actually helps keep the acid down. So I don't know what else to say. Like, Willow's problem really is the air. So I just, again, frequent burpings? Yeah. And yes, I do block feed her. I think someone was asking that as well. I do just feed her on one side. But again, I only really stop to burp her a lot if she sounds like she's swallowing a lot of air. Otherwise, I just leave her. Now that she's getting a bit older too, what I find she's doing is she's burping on my boob. So like she'll be like right up against it, and then she'll just like let out a big belch, and she's still on my nipple. So it's quite funny. Another question was, what do you wish you would have known before you started breastfeeding Willow? Probably how painful the first 2 weeks really were going to be, or maybe even the first 3 weeks. I wish I would have known, because I think that it would have prepared me a bit better, and I wouldn't have been as surprised. Because I kind of had this vision that, like, I would come home from the hospital, or, like, in the hospital, I would breastfeed her, and it would be, like, just, like, this natural, easy thing, and it really wasn't. So I kind of wish I would have known that. I would have been a little less hard on myself. And I kind of wish I would have known about breastfeeding support groups as well. Just people that you can talk to that can share their experiences and things like that. That would have been awesome as well. And lastly, not to pump when you're first engorged, because that just makes the problem way worse and prolongs it way more. So, this is the question. I love breastfeeding my 7-week-old, but I feel like I'm tethered to my house because I don't feel comfortable feeding in public. Do I have any advice? Yes. Don't worry about, like, when you go in public, don't worry so much about like what anyone else is going to think. And I know that's easier said than done, but invest in a really good nursing cover. So I have this one. This one is a Baby Olay. They were also known as Hooter Hiders, I think, before the brand name was. Anyway, this cover is phenomenal. I love it. I have an Udders cover as well, and I don't like it as much. But this one has the structured boning in it. So when you put it over your head, and I'll just put it over mine now, and you put it over your baby, it's got like this structured boning so that like you can actually kind of put it like that and it stays out. Like, I know you can't really tell on camera, but like I can put my hand in and I can see her. Now, the one thing I will say is that if you're going to buy one of these, consider not getting the black and white patterned one. The reason I say that is because babies at this age love black and white patterns, so Willow will lay under it and just literally like stare at the pattern forever. But the other cool thing about this one is that in the inside, on both corners, there's this terry cloth material which you can use to wipe up their like any milk dripping or whatever, and there's pockets. So I actually put my breast pads in there, you know, so I can I put the cover on, I put the blanket up to me because again I have the active letdown thing. Then what I do is take out my breast pad, I put it in the pocket, and then whenever she's done, I can use the blanket I have already under there, or I can use the corner of this, and then I can take my breast pad back out and put it back in. But I would just say, like, some of the things I found to be really helpful is I always try to wear sweaters instead of like just a nursing top, because I find just the nursing tops, like, obviously you have to expose your breast, but if you have a sweater on, or you know those kind of sweaters that don't have any buttons or zippers, they just kind of like come over and they're long. Anyway, they're almost like a shawl, but they have sleeves and stuff. Those I find perfect because like what you can do is then just take the sides of it, and you could even use that to drape over your baby as you're getting the baby on. Once the baby's on, like you're seeing I'm breastfeeding right now, you can't see anything. It just looks like I'm holding her in this way, right? So I would definitely say, like, invest in a good cover, and then just practice. Try doing it in places that aren't as uncomfortable, maybe like a doctor's office, or, you know, other family members' houses or friends' houses. Use your cover, and until you get comfortable, you know, then kind of go out. But there's a video on this channel of another lady who did a video about nursing discreetly in public. So check that out as well, because that should help. And the last question I have right now, and again, I can answer more later, is what do you think other first-time mothers should find or would find useful to buy or prepare for when baby gets here when we try to breastfeed? Breast pads, lots of them. If they're on sale, definitely stock up. I like the Johnson's breast pads myself. I've tried a lot of them. They're my favorite. You need breast pads. It's not a bad idea to get yourself a hand pump or one of those Milky's Milk Savers just to collect the excess milk, or sometimes just to pump off a little teeny bit if you're really super engorged. But you don't want to pump a lot because then you're just going to, you know, your body's going to think it needs that much. Invest in lanolin cream. I don't use it anymore because my nipples are basically like rubber nipples now. I'm not even joking. But in the beginning it was so crucial because it hurt so much in the beginning. Well, at least for me. And not to scare you, but like I wish someone would have said that, you know, before. Good nursing bras, like, and get a lot of them. And like maybe even nursing bras and tanks, like a mixture of both. That's so helpful. I love the nursing tanks because really, when you first bring your baby home from the hospital, you're feeding them 2 to 3 hours, like every 2 to 3 hours, all day, every day. So it's so good just to have comfy clothes that you like, that it's like just whip your boob out, you know? Like that's all you want. Comfy nursing bras or tanks. The tops and stuff can come later, you know? But the bras and tanks right away. And what else? A good nursing pillow. I have the Boppy here. I like the Boppy. A lot of people don't like the Boppy, but I actually like it. I find it comfortable. You know, it's maintained its shape like so far, and I've used it every day. You know, how many times every day. So that's been helpful. And then I like the big receiving blankets like this. Because, like I said, I tuck one end into my bra. I don't know why I didn't do that from the very beginning. Because I would, like, get breast milk all over my bras and have to switch them right away, or else they would smell like spoiled milk. And it was horrible. So these are awesome. Because these are a lot easier to clean, and they're cheaper. So it's better to have a lot of these. So receiving blankets are helpful. I'm sure I'm missing some stuff, but anyway, those are some initial ideas. So if you have any questions whatsoever, leave them as a comment, and when I do my next breastfeeding update, I will definitely add them as into the video. And you can also post them onto my Facebook page, which you just have to search Erin Baby Vlog. Baby Vlog's all one word. And then I'm more than happy to answer them there as well. Okay? So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye!